What 3 emojis would I use to describe SHSMD25 in Dallas, Texas? Well, I definitely have to pick the trash can emoji, the open book emoji, and the fire emoji. But not because the conference was fire. Well, maybe it was, but because that just sounds weird coming from someone as unhip as I am. But why did I choose these 3 emojis? Well, let's find out.
Swaay.Health.
Now, before I start into my explanation of those emojis, I have to comment on the venue for this conference. You see, this is the Hilton Anatoly in Dallas, Texas, and its decor is completely different than what you would assume a conference hotel in Texas would look like. We are, after all, in the heart of cowboy country, and I was expecting Western decor. But instead, this entire hotel has an Asian-inspired vibe. There were beautiful antique Tibetan doors, terracotta soldiers, lions, and whatever this is, and of course, elephants. It was weird, awesome, and after thinking about it, actually pretty appropriate. Because being in this space put me in a more open frame of mind. And that's exactly what Tucker Bryant did as the opening keynote. Tucker is a poet who pushes his audiences and companies that he consults with to break away from traditional thinking. And he does this by suggesting we do something that's kind of counterintuitive. We should all aim for the trash can. You see, Tucker believes that all good ideas are just bad ideas that have yet to be properly edited. So rather than trying to craft the perfect idea right out of the gate, he recommends getting all your bad ideas onto a paper or the whiteboard. And in there somewhere is the kernel of a great idea. You just need to chisel away to remove all that useless stuff. So now I don't feel quite so bad about writing 15 paragraphs whenever I sit down to do an article, and then only to get rid of half of it when I get around to editing it. But that theme of not aiming for perfection was also something echoed by Brittany Strum from Olmsted Medical Center in her excellent presentation on micro-influencers. She shared how they filmed their popular Pelvic Party podcast using a very simple camera setup that first started around the kitchen table of a local influencer that they partnered with. Now, over time, they have added and improved their production quality, but they still put most of their energy into telling a good story first. And those stories, especially Brittany's own around her personal pelvic health story, resonated with their audience. Now, if you ask me, marketers have always been the chief storyteller of their organizations. And that is going to be more important than ever as the world gets buried in AI slop and as AI search engines change the landscape. And there were a ton of sessions around that topic here at SHSMD. Topics around AEO and how you can ensure that you appear at the top of those AI overviews. And the key takeaway from those sessions is you have to tell your story. The story of your staff, your patients, and your community. That is the foundation to create authentic, trusted content, which is what is going to propel you to the top of those listings. Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, who's the president and CEO of Morehouse School of Medicine, delivered an incredible keynote that was full of stories and insights. I actually have a whole video on all the fantastic things she said. I'll put that in the comments below. But there was one in particular that stood out for me, and that was about how she uses AI tools. Dr. Rice doesn't make it a secret that she uses AI to help her craft emails and other communications. And she shared with the audience that she types everything about a situation into the AI tool. She puts her emotions, which are pretty raw. She types in all the facts, and she types in the messages that she wants to come from that situation. A lot of what she writes is very strongly worded. It's very emotional. But then she asks AI to synthesize it into a communication that removes the harshness, but keeps the key points. Not only did I think this was a pretty cool use case, I also really admired her willingness to admit to using AI, because let's be honest, using AI, especially for a leader and a marketer, kind of feels like you're cheating still. But here's what she said. She said, nobody wants to see people be perfect all the time. That's just impossible. We need leaders to show a little bit of vulnerability. And that is how leaders show authenticity. In other words, marketing leaders need to be an open book within their organization and with the communities that they serve. Now, being an open book is something that marketing leaders are going to need to do if they want to survive the fire that is burning in healthcare right now. At the Is Rome Burning panel, 4 industry luminaries discussed the trouble that chief marketing officers and other senior marketing leaders are facing right now in our industry. Those luminaries were Matt Gove from QuickMD, Chris Bavolo from BPD, Victor Rice from UNC Health, and Alan Shoebridge from Providence. Victor was the one who answered the question head on. He basically said, yes, there is definitely a fire burning right now in healthcare, but you could look at it as a controlled burn. And controlled burns are what's needed from time to time to help with renewal and to ensure future growth. Don't get me wrong, he said it wasn't pleasant, but he did give some hope to say, look, this is not an uncontrolled fire. But how do you survive this burn? Well, all the panelists had the same messages. Marketing leaders need to be highly aligned with other senior executives at their organizations, especially the CEO and CFO. We all need to start telling the story of marketing and how we help the organization achieve its goals, not in a hand-wavy kind of way, but by using real data and other direct evidence about the impact that marketing is having. And those results better be in line with the organization's desired goals. Now is not the time to be a lone ranger, because if you are telling a story that's completely at odds with your organization, then you're definitely going to get burned and you will end up getting canned or fired. See what I did there? So, those are the 3 themes that I'm taking away from SHSMD25, but I also wanted to share other perspectives too. So I asked a few people for their hot take.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Woods. I'm the Vice President of Digital Engagement at Hackensack Meridian Health. And one of the best takeaways so far from SHSMD has been seeing how these groups are talking about how they work with others in the healthcare system. So people not every day, compliance, IT, but also legal and external affairs, and how when we put on each other's hats, we can get a feel of what they go through when looking at how to care for our patients in the best way possible. It's been fun.
Hi, this is Chris Bevolo, Chief Transformation Officer at BPD. One of the biggest conversations here at SHSMD and the focus of our panel tomorrow is the future of the CMO role. There's been so many changes to marketing over the past few years, and this year has been even a bigger set of changes and transformations from all different kind of angles. And so we see everything from budget cuts to CMO roles being eliminated. At the same time, there's incredible opportunities, and that's the thing we're talking most to people about. No matter what is coming down the pike, how can you take advantage of things like expanding the scope of your purview? Are you going to expand into communications, patient experience? How can you take advantage of AI, which is a huge talker as well? AI is everywhere now. I think a year ago, maybe people were kind of thinking, oh, it's coming. It's here, so that's another opportunity. There's just so much that CMOs can do, but they really need to pick a lane and figure out how are they going to show up differently moving forward, because the world has really changed and what's expected of CMOs is changing, so they need to be able to respond to that. But there's plenty of opportunities out there.
Hi, Lila Wagoner, Chief Dot Connector with Strategy for Hire here at SHSMD25. It's been a really great conference. Starting with the opening keynote, just some really incredibly inspiring and motivating words from the poet who really challenged us as an industry in this time of uncertainty to think about doing different things differently. And I've really been taking that to heart and thinking a lot about, through every session, how can we take these incredible learnings that our colleagues are sharing with us and think about how we apply that in our own organizations, but not just in the usual ways. And I think that that has been kind of my biggest takeaway among all sorts of other takeaways from this fantastic 3 days in Dallas. A lot of great energy, a lot of new attendees, new exhibitors, really embracing this community and sharing all the wisdom with each other. So it's been a great few days.
Hi, Alan Shubridge. I'm Associate Vice President of National Communications at Providence here at SHSMD. And my key takeaway is just the energy level of everyone who attended. We had so many first-time people, and they're really motivated to help drive change in their organizations, make healthcare better for people we serve. So I love it. I love the energy level, and I think people are coming out of this conference super motivated to make change. It's amazing.
Hi, my name is Monica Crow. I'm with 10th Crow Creative. And my key takeaway for SHSMD 2025 would be the importance of human connection, especially in the world of AI and post-pandemic. It's just still very important to get together and build that trust so that we can all kind of do things better.
Hello everyone, I'm Preston Smith. I'm a Regional Sales Director here at Target Continuum. Enjoying SHSMD 25 thus far this year. I've had a lot of very great conversations, collected a lot of insights to bring back to clients and whatnot. I think the main thing that I've taken away is just how hospitals and health systems can really get creative with their budget, especially now in kind of today's day and age with budget constraints and things like that, and how to be efficient with it. And the only other thing would be, I sat in a session about CDPs, which was very, very interesting, just kind of talking about how, tracking in healthcare is not necessarily dead. There's definitely ways you can still go about it and really make sure that your marketing center is not a cost center, but a revenue generation center, which we all know it is. It's just a matter of being able to prove that out.
All right, my name is Hannah Pattersick. I am from Fathom, an IQVIA business, and my main takeaway from our time here is businesses are expected to do more with less, and it's really important to make sure that our dollars stretch. And to do this, we want to ensure that we are very precise within our targeting across a variety of tactics and channels.
Hi, I'm Greg.
And I'm Betsy.
And we're from Cyrano Video, and SHSMD 2025 has been spooky good. The one thing we've really noticed throughout the course of the last couple of days is everyone is looking to better engage with their audience, whether that's staff, community, or patients. And so they're trying to find new ways to engage with them through video, through podcasts, through social media. And so it's been a really cool conversation to have with a lot of the folks that have come to our booth and just around the trade show floors and listening to the different sessions that have been going on. It seems like everyone's pretty much aligned on just engaging with their people, and so finding new ways to do that and staying creative and having fun with it.
Hi, I'm Craig Blake with AMCIV, and one of my key takeaways from this conference was really something I heard on the last day and in the last session I attended, and it was about is the room burning for the CMOs. And the thing that really resonated with me is that right now marketing is under a lot of scrutiny within the health systems, and heads down, people are really focusing on their work, and they should be doing the exact opposite. And one of the panelists said that be involved, be active within your C-suite, get in those conversations and show them that you're resilient and that you'll help them break through all the challenges that they're going through right now. So key takeaway, be a partner if you're in those executive leader roles, and be a partner with your leadership, your board, to make sure that they see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Hi, I'm Morgan Klein, and I work for Boson, and I'm at SHSMD 25. One key takeaway that I learned this session is for micro-influencers. It doesn't matter how much money you spend or where you need to find them. You just need something authentic and something that's organic and gets people talking, and I love that.
Hey, I'm Craig Fairfield with Wax, and my key takeaway from SHSMD 25 is connectivity and connections. Such a great place to meet people. Some of them are my competitors. That's good. I can get ideas from them. A lot of them need the kind of work that we do. That's great. And I love making connections. I met two guys named Mike this morning. I thought they needed to know each other, so I introduced them to each other, and they both thanked me. So if you're at SHSMD 25, try to make a connection. Find somebody to talk to you've never met before.
Hi, I'm Reba Thompson with WG Content. I think the most thing I'm taking away so far is just validation that we're all in a very difficult time together. That's everybody from the health system side and all of the vendor solution partners. Everyone is experiencing some things that maybe we haven't experienced together in a few years. But building relationships, keeping those strong, networking, and knowing that everybody is in this together to better their communities, ultimately do mission-driven, meaningful work. And so we will continue to do that throughout the rest of the year and into 26.
Hi, I'm Lacey Reichwald, Director of Marketing from AHA Media Group. And one thing that I noticed this year at SHSMD was really the spirit of partnership. I heard a lot of people talking about relying on their partners and their peers. This is an incredibly difficult time in healthcare marketing, and I loved hearing how much we're all helping one another out because we really are in this together. And on a personal note, I was very honored to receive the Rising Star Award, and I just felt so congratulated and honored, and it really reinforced the spirit of community in this space. And I'm just very excited to continue to grow and be a better partner even to health systems, hospitals, and my agency peers in this space.
My name is Marissa Gerster. I am the Director of Growth at Hetty & Hoff. All of the sessions this year have been fabulous. We've enjoyed all of them. I think a key takeaway for me specifically was the keynote's address about how oftentimes erasure can lead to more. So removing things, taking a step back, gives us a more creative mindset and kind of refreshes us to continue.
SHSMD25 was an excellent conference and well worth attending. I want to thank the AHA and the SHSMD organizers for a wonderful event and for allowing us to be here on a media pass. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.